Hey, welcome to the First Issue Club. We are a weekly comic book podcast who, just like Sue Storm, we love a good read. Who doesn't work in that scenario? But I said it anyway, and I'm sticking to it.
Who just like... Yeah, sure.
Who just like Sue Storm. You know what? I think the emphasis was wrong.
Yeah. The club can be a singular.
Yeah, right. We are an entity.
Yeah. We are First Issue Club who, just like Sue Storm, loves a good read.
Yeah. Okay, I take it back. I was perfect the first time.
You're perfect every time.
Aw. Thank you. Never made a mistake in my damn life. We're going to talk about the comics that I mentioned in the intro, right? Comic book podcast and all. There are a ton of them.
Woo.
This was a week for first issues. You probably had too many to choose from to pick them all up at your shop. I think just out of not even small press indie comics, I think together you and I read 11 first issues.
Something like that. Yeah.
We already talked about, well, it's technically half in, half out on first issue. We talked about the Wonder Woman annual, kind of at length on our Patreon because it got me in my feels.
Yeah, good
about
conversation.
The world lately. So check that out if you're interested in hearing us vamp on that for too long. So yeah, we've got all kinds of it. We got indies, we got big two, but all big substantial releases that I think are worth reading depending on who you are, what kind of fan you are. So excited to dig into those. But first, as we always do, we're going to talk about some comic book news, but not before we give it up to Space Camper Cosmic IPA as Vargas and I share a little cheers here. I'm drinking the classic Space Camper Cosmic IPA with their mascot El Dorado on the can, who, our beer aficionados might recognize that character's name as a fun, cheeky reference to a hop varietal that makes Space Camper beer oh so good and hoppy in all the right ways. But if you like a different balance of hops and adjunct flavors, like we mentioned, there are varietals. Vargas, right now, what are you having?
I'm having the chill break because I'm a chill guy. It's a session IPA?
I think you'd consider it a session. Yeah.
They call it an endless IPA, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit
you can drink it more endlessly.
Yeah.
We don't actually recommend drinking it endlessly.
Well,
there
would be an end.
Yeah,
that's right. To the amount that you can drink.
Take a water break.
Yeah. But it's a little more mellow, a little more laid back.
That's right.
Which is why I like it, because I'm so laid back. You never see me get worked up about anything.
He's such a chill guy. So easy to get along with.
I don't get worked up about work at all every time I come to this house every Thursday. That's for sure.
We have our little therapy session, and then we start the podcast.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you, Boulevard Brewing Company and the Space Camper Cosmic IPA for bringing First Issue Club to all of our listeners' eyes and ears, depending on how you're consuming this right now. But the club members will certainly be consuming Space Camper IPA throughout the course of this and every forthcoming episode.
That's right.
All right.
We love you.
I'm going to take a sip right now. Pause. Completed. I feel like a better, wholer person.
Yeah, you're about to shoot to the moon.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Greg is not here today, so...
Yum, yum, give me some down in my tum-tum. It's not a...
beer, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Is that all he says?
Space Camper Cosmic IPA.
Yep.
I'm Greg. That's how he finishes it every time.
That's his main contribution to the episode every week, so otherwise you're really not missing out.
I should cut it out of last week's episode and
splice it in.
I'll do that.
Okay, let's talk our comic news. Let's chop it up. Maybe we'll do these quick hit because we've got so many comics to talk about.
Sure. We didn't watch it, but
oh, yes.
The first trailer for Spider Noir came out.
Yes, you saw it.
I saw it.
Let's speak to your experience then.
Okay. I mean, it's Nicolas Cage being like
Doing his damn thing.
Doing his damn thing. He's kind of a goofy, like, noir detectives type, right? Because that's what Spider-Man Noir is. Mm-hmm. It gives me, like, shades of his, like, losing my mind characters.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's some of that going on, where this character doesn't know what's happening to him.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's going to be, like, he gets bit at the end of episode 1 and his powers sort of evolve over time.
Yeah.
Because there are scenes in the trailer of him, like, web swinging.
Yeah. Right.
But there's also, like, there's none of him, like, web shooting at a villain.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, I don't know if those web slinging scenes are like a psychosis that, like
a fever dream.
Yeah, fever dream.
Yeah.
If this is like, and the tagline for the show in the trailer is, "With no power comes no responsibilities."
Oh, interesting.
So,
okay.
Again,
it could all be a delusion that's held.
He's just got this mask that he wears because he thinks he's a superhero. Which is
that's an interesting angle.
Yeah, right? Like,
yeah,
I would love that. And if that's the way they're going, Nick Cage is the perfect casting.
He does do guy kind of losing his grip on reality very well.
Yeah.
Have you seen, is it Adaptation?
No, I've never seen Adaptation.
Okay. Yeah. I remember, I need to rewatch it, but I remember liking it.
Yeah, it's one of his dramas, right?
Yeah.
I've seen Mandy. You ever seen Mandy?
I haven't seen Mandy, but it's on a couple streamers now, so I was thinking about watching it.
You want to see a guy lose his mind?
Yeah.
Watch Mandy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I do love what's the unbearable weight of massive talent? Is that what it's called? I thought that movie was so much fun.
So much fun. With him and Pedro Pascal.
Yes, right. It's like a buddy comedy action adventure.
Yeah.
Like, what a blast.
Yeah. Great movie.
That was like, that's what I feel more. I want more like popcorn movies like that.
Yeah.
That are like, I went to a movie theater and I just had a fun time and leave feeling good about it.
Yeah.
Like, so many movies now are like award bait and make you feel just like shit. You pay $20 to do the whole movie experience and then you leave feeling like so shitty, and you're just like, I guess that'll win awards and I can talk about it around Oscar season.
Yeah.
Or they're just like, you're kind of vacant trilogy, quadrilogy, sort of
tack it on
kind of movies. But like, man, those like standalone original movies that are just fun and easy, like, I want more of that back in movie theaters. That would get me to go to the theater more.
Totally.
And then I'm gonna see this Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
Dude, yeah.
Like, that seems like one of these types of movies.
Totally.
So I'm pumped to see that this weekend and see how that is.
Yeah. That movie seems like a trip.
Yeah, good time.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we'll see. The stills from Spider-Man Noir look fantastic.
Oh, the trailer looks amazing.
I think it'll be visually stunning, and that could be enough for it to be worth it.
Well, and one of the cool parts of their big advertising swing is they're doing it both in like noir, authentic black and white, and like a period accurate like colorway.
That's cool.
So you can watch it in
either
your
way,
preferred black and white or true color, whatever they call it.
I normally engage with stuff like that when it happens because I think it's interesting and cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
Werewolf
by Night did it.
Werewolf by Night did it like a year apart, which I thought was pretty genius.
Yeah, that we'll drop it and everyone can enjoy it again.
Yeah.
In a new way. I do like that Werewolf by Night did the black and white first,
Mm-hmm.
and then did the color subsequently.
Totally.
I think more people have more incentive to watch it that way.
Totally.
And there's a certain amount of artistry that goes into composition when you're doing something black and white.
Yes.
That may be a little lost or require more post-production if you go into it not intending black and white the first time.
For sure. Well, the lighting alone.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you can do a lot of that stuff CGI.
Yeah.
But like traditionally, if you're doing something in black and white, the lighting has to be like intense.
Yes.
Because a shadow is not really a shadow in black and white.
Yes,
right. It's like an inky void, right?
Yes, right. Were you going to say Mad Max Fury Road?
I loved Fury Road in black and white. What do they call it? Black and Chrome edition.
Yes.
Was a great example. My other favorite example of alternate versions is the Prey movie, the Predator movie.
Oh, okay.
Prey.
I didn't know this had an alternate version.
They did it in Cherokee. All the dialogue.
Cool.
In Cherokee.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. So you can watch it subbed, but
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
One of the other ones I'm thinking of was a video game. What's the ninja video game?
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima did a Kurosawa version.
Mode. Yep.
And it had like the film grain and was in black and white. I thought that was so rad.
The cool part about
what a good idea.
The cool part about that is they actually teamed up with the Kurosawa estate.
No kidding.
And got it like approved through them
to call it the Kurosawa version.
Mode.
Yeah.
And they brought that back for Ghost of Tsushima, the sequel.
Yeah.
But in the sequel they also included a Takeshi Miike mode.
Oh, I'm not familiar with.
You don't know Takeshi Miike?
No.
Oh, dude. So he did Ichi the Killer.
Oh, I know that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he did Zatoichi the Blind Swordsman. And 13 Assassins, I think was also him.
I don't know that one.
Anyway, he's done a couple like samurai movies, but his stuff is always like way more Tarantino. So like super dynamic coloring, big geysers of blood, that whole thing. They did a Takeshi Miike mode in Ghost of Tsushima.
The slashes are just like whoosh.
Pretty much. And I haven't played through it. I'm playing through it right now in like regular mode, and then we're gonna go back and do Takeshi Miike mode.
This is what happens when real nerds make stuff for other nerds. You get good products.
So a guy at work asked me if I had played Ghost of Tsushima, and I was like, homeboy, I named my son Ronan.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. I'm on my third playthrough of Yote already.
Yeah, right? Like, come on, dude.
Okay. One thing I saw today that I thought was interesting was Neon Ichiban is selling digitally signed remarked Dave Gibbons issues.
Watchmen issues.
Yes, Watchmen issues. So issue 1 you can get for $150 and any other issue is $75. So they're one of one digital assets more or less.
Yeah.
And I think they've found a way to finagle themselves out of like technically having them be NFTs, but you do buy them through a website and have a particular file that belongs to you and is exclusively hosted on the website.
They're not on a blockchain.
It's not. Yeah, it's just not on a blockchain, right? Yeah. But yet to be seen. I'd be really interested to see how many people buy these. I think it's interesting for them to take swings with like getting someone like a Dave Gibbons who has worked on such a seminal thing and is signing and doing original illustrations for each of these, but it's his traditional go-to, Rorschach remark that he does on these things. And it being on a screen and just being like, I own this JPEG is not something that resonates with me whatsoever. And that might be I have to, I think, accept that maybe that is an old man aspect. But I also think too that we've had the dawn of NFTs and we did all those like digital NBA cards. Do you remember those were like crazy hot?
Oh yeah.
And it was like you owned the
moment. You owned like
you owned the moment.
Kobe dunking.
Yes, and it would be like a famous Kobe dunk. People were like spending $10,000.
I remember that
to get like, so and so hitting the shot that sealed game 4 of an NBA Finals, and it's like
Michael Jordan being sick on the sideline.
Yeah,
the
Michael
GIF.
Jordan's flu game, the GIF. And those have tanked while like baseball trading cards have never been in a better place, like financially. So it's hard for me to imagine that unless like culture as a whole enters this more like VR, everything I own is in this curated digital space sort of thing. Like, when is that turn gonna happen that make these things worth spending a premium on?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. The only people I foresee doing this are people who've just got the incredible curiosity and a lot of disposable income to be like, oh, this is an interesting trend. Like, let me take part in it just to have the experience and then forget about it forever.
Yeah.
Right? If you have $150 to just be like, oh, that JPEG is mine, more or less.
Right.
Then I think you're somebody who's just kind of like throwing money around and being like, oh, interesting trend in comics.
The only part of it that intrigues me, and I really want to do this just to see what the process is. I want to go to a distillery creator and have them do a remark at a con.
I think they can do.
They can do that,
right?
There's a way to do it. They've advertised it.
Yes.
I want to know how that works. Do I go up and I'm like, here's my thing? Because I assume every issue has to have a number.
Yeah.
So that they can, on their whatever creator portal, I assume on their website, type in a number of an issue and then remark it.
Yep.
And then submit, and now it's my thing.
Yeah, right. They would have an iPad at a distillery table.
Yeah.
You would pay $40 or whatever the fee is, and they would pull up your version of it and doodle.
Right. I want to see what that process is. I'm intrigued by it.
Right. It is intriguing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to have that interaction in person.
Right.
And then be like, there's the thing they drew and it's in my little library.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of fun.
Right.
But if it's not, if you're not getting the personal experience and not getting a tangible thing to own, I think it falls apart for me personally.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
especially at the price point.
There's another layer of separation, but at the end of the day, for the right person, it's no different than buying a signed copy off eBay.
Yeah. Right.
Just for the right audience, right? It's the same thing.
You can say you have it. It's in a box somewhere. You never pull it out anyway.
Exactly.
You didn't get the experience of interacting. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we're on Neon Ichiban, it's kind of like a distillery adjacent. I know this has been well talked about on your other comic book podcasts that you're listening to, but I don't think we've talked about like the potential downfall of distillery, that they're technically just on pause. But I think there's a lot of clammy hands like around the industry and from the creators who are on distillery, that you're just like seeing some tweets from some people who are just like voicing disappointment and worry that like, are people ever gonna, we put a lot of love and care into this, or hey, my story only had 2 of 4 issues come out, and like, we would really love to have this finished. But even when someone goes on pause like this in distribution, like, if you spend a year and a half between Spectrograph issue 2 and 3, are you gonna know what the fuck is happening in issue 3?
That's basically the case already for White Boat.
Yeah, you've more or less doomed that comic, or like the legacy it might have held, because the moment of it was broken apart. which is very unfortunate. And that's not to say like there's been some like there's been a lot of speculation online and potential finger pointing, but it's very hard to say like what the temperature is at distillery or like why all of this happened. I can give you though like the history of events as I've seen them.
Sure.
So distillery was funded by venture capital.
Sure.
They had $7.4 million in funding. And they're not that old of a publisher still, right?
Yeah.
I think they were a big part of launching this digital platform, or they had their own version of it on Distillery. And they probably spent a good chunk of change on that. But it's hard to imagine spending $7.4 million on all, like, you just think like, well, you had this income model and you had things going out and selling. Like, where has all that money gone? It's hard to imagine, but $7.4 million at the beginning of this, funding it, making it happen.
Yeah.
Then, apparently, creators exchanged part of the intellectual property of the things that they were creating on Distillery for better upfront payment.
Got it.
That I think Distillery is a publisher
of my thing, and you give me an extra 20,000 or whatever.
As signing up, yeah, you're going to pay me way more than a normal publisher would, and that's the reason I'm bringing my prestige thing here.
Yeah.
Right, and we're doing it here together. It gets optioned for a TV show.
Yeah.
Distillery gets
a bigger piece of the pie.
A bigger piece of the pie on that, while the creator also gets probably a bigger piece of the pie than they would have gotten if they took it to a Vertigo or something, wherein DC kind of owns, again, probably a bigger piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Since then, there's been reports on Bleeding Cool. That's how I'm following most of this.
Okay.
And I think Bleeding Cool has like some sort of inside information or somebody giving information. But they've referenced that creators have stopped getting payments over time. That just an example number that you threw out, the $20,000 maybe is promised to get paid out over a 6-month period, and then 2/4 of that get 2/4. One half.
That classic number.
One half of that gets paid out, and then the payments just stop arriving, and it's like, what happened with this? So that's apparently happening. They've alleged that creators have voiced concern about some of their projects ever even seeing the light of day. That there's some like I can't remember who it is. Like Cy Spurrier maybe has a book that like hasn't even come out yet.
Ugh.
And it's like, man, they've just pushed the pause button. Are we gonna ever see this comic?
Yeah.
However, the Rescue Rangers of the comic book industry, Chip and Dave, the guys who run Distillery, that's how I always remember their names, have been fairly communicative. And like they were like reached out for comment, Bleeding Cool did, and they got back and were like, hey, we're, also really disappointed, and the year has been like very tough here, and we need a moment to like regroup, and we hope to get comics in the hands of fans like as soon as possible, but we just don't know when that's going to be, or like how this is all going to happen. It's reassuring to see them stay in communication. A lot of times when these things fall apart, like the CEO kind of ghosts and like, we'll take what little we have left and declare bankruptcy and be done with the thing or scrap it for parts.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I hear that creators really like these guys.
Sure.
That Chip and Dave are well liked, and there's a little bit of like built-in trust or grace here.
Yeah.
Which is the reason that like if another publisher like this fell on its face, a lot of the creators would be like airing all the dirty laundry on social media.
Yeah, right.
Like, and just like venting and complaining and like apologizing to fans because like so and so fucked up, but I hope that doesn't change how you think about me as a creator. Those things aren't really happening,
right?
Which I think speaks to the thing that these guys were maybe trying to create that these other people believed in,
Yeah,
and is maybe a good, maybe something to just like not completely throw in the distillery towel just yet.
well, and on top of that, I mean, clearly they've invested, I would assume, a significant portion of that 7.4 million
Yeah.
into Neon Ichiban. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the servers are still up. They're
Yeah.
still publishing stuff. They have deals with Marvel and DC, a big Oni,
Yep.
big publishers.
Yep.
So hopefully
And
that
nothing's happening with Neon Ichiban.
that's what
To be clear,
right.
that part of the business
Yeah.
is persisting.
And the hope would be though that digital platform provides enough stability.
It buoys the deluxe print format that
Right.
becomes more of like a niche, maybe secondary thing to the larger company.
Yeah.
But it's something for us as collectors to have like physical prestige format
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Yep. Same. All right. That's what's going on there. Another just couple quick hit things.
Mm-hmm.
DC normally has a Superman Day every year.
Yes.
This year it's Supergirl Day.
Oh,
I
the
love
movie.
I love that they rebranded it. Obviously, there's a movie coming out that they have to promote. They're moving up Superman Day from when it normally is to meet the like hype of the movie.
Love it.
So that'll be fun. We're getting a lot of like reprints of classic issues and facsimiles, and like you'll probably get more affordable or easy to find copies of some issues like The Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Things that might be a little more accessible or easier to find.
That's great. Yeah.
That's exciting to hear about and see, and I love that. We love seeing our superhero ladies get the play that they deserve.
We love a super queen.
Speaking of super queens, the Queen in Black.
Mm-hmm.
Those titles and some of those designs are getting out into the open. RB Silva, who is like such a good costume designer,
Yeah.
did a new MJ Venom costume that I think is pretty rad looking, and I'm anticipating a design variant for that, but his designs are out on the internet. If you're a Venom fan, I would say check those out. I think it's pretty rad looking.
Looks great. Yeah.
But I always kind of like love and grab like being like I'm a user experience designer and design a lot of like websites, and that is like one type of skill. But I'm also a nerd for like graphic design and like the philosophy and ideology of design.
Mm-hmm.
And I think RB Silva is also one of those people who obviously has the comic book visual language skill set down, but has this heightened sense for branding and graphic design, and can put together really rad costume designs that have this certain like visual weight and balance that works in the particular team, or when you're putting like a whole team of designs together, or just creating a new shocking design for a singular character. That's a different skill set than being able to panel comics well.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that. RB Silva's like one of my guys. I met him at a con. I bought a Amazing Spider-Man page from him. Like and an X-Men. He was been the main artist on two of my favorite titles of all time. So big fan of his, and wanted to shout out that that's a fun area of comic books that we don't talk about a lot.
Yeah, RB Silva and I think Russell Dauterman are like the two big. Like
Russell Dauterman does a lot of character design.
Yeah, big costume. Folks.
Yes, totally. I think Russell Dauterman did a lot of the Hellfire Gala costumes.
It feels like he did all of them.
When
like
you think about he might have. And you think about just like we need high fashion versions of designs for like all of the X-Men.
Yeah.
Like what a fun ask if you're somebody who's like up to that.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not something that like everyone can do.
God.
Just because Yeah, again, you can panel well. Can you put Storm in a couture outfit that like honors her heritage and like her superpower?
Yeah.
Like he did such an amazing job with all of those things.
Yeah. Imagine asking 99% of comic book artists to do that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. Really cool.
Except Rob Liefeld. He's just pouch everywhere.
Yes, we love, yeah. Pouches solve the world's problems.
Correct.
Mm.
Correct.
You want to have a cargo party? Call up your boy. We'll get everybody in khaki. I want to mention IDW is launching a crime imprint. They've got 3 books slated for September.
Okay.
And we've seen this trend that harkens back to EC Comics and these like very genre, and whether they're anthology series or just hyper genre comic books. And a lot of them are like done on indie publishers as homages that harken back to a time. But we're seeing a real trend towards the move back to trend comics.
Sure.
Or like new trend, I think, as they were like called in the era, where you did get like noirs and westerns and all these different things, and publishers were invested in doing several of them and having a little corner for people who were a fan of that. So fun to see. It's already happened for horror and it's come back in a big way, but it'll be fun to see like the crime thriller version of that. And I'll be interested to see like how well that takes off. Does that create this new fandom and create a lot of copycats that now are doing these like crime procedural things in comic books again, and trying to make a point of having a corner of comics space reserved for them.
DC, now is your time. Reboot, Mr. What is it? Mr. Prosecuting Attorney? Mr.
District Attorney. My favorite comic book series.
Now is the time.
Yep.
Start the reboot.
Mr. District Attorney, a classic.
Call Charles Soule. He used to be an attorney.
Oh, man. My dream project. Let me do a cover for it if it happens. I feel like First Issue Club is leading the wave of bringing Mr. District Attorney back into the cultural consciousness.
That's right.
We're like the only fans.
Whoa.
That are under like 60 that love this.
Nothing about OnlyFans, okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. And then my last news shout out is Paul Allure. It's a comic book creative, has a fundraiser going for his medical care.
Oh, sure.
And, there's all these great things like the Hero Initiative that serve to help fund healthcare and surprise needs for all these different people who've done so much for us culturally and emotionally, create this wonderful hobby, but a lot of them are freelancers and they don't have access to 401k matches and HSAs and all these different like insurance plans that are simpler to maintain if you would have had a more typical career. So we try to do a lot as a fan base to support these people when we can. I believe his initial fundraising goal has been met, which is great news.
Great start.
But they're obviously still taking contributions and they can go a long way. But just a general reminder, stay tuned into that stuff. When you do have some extra spending money and you're like, I'm going to treat myself to a $200 classic comic that I've always wanted, maybe think about saying, okay, I'm going to also take $20 and give it to Hero Initiative or give it right to a creator who's impacted your hobby and collection and your love of comics.
Well, and to that point, Hero Initiative always shows up at Planet and always has somebody at a booth.
Yep.
They've typically always got a short box of stuff that
is
like goes directly to them.
Yep.
I got that Justice League Ken McGuire cover. That classic cover signed by him for like $10.
Yeah.
So it's like,
right.
And I think I gave him 20 just to match the thing, but if you're at a con, go find their booth, buy something directly from them.
They do, yeah. A lot of if you're somebody who's just like, I don't have $20 to just donate or give, I've got my own bills.
Yeah.
But you're like, you have the $20 to like keep your sanity.
Yeah.
For your own like little piece of self-enjoyment or something to like get a thing.
Yeah.
They do really have like, they've got like cool remarked things that
well, you can go buy the same book for basically the same price.
Yeah, right, that are a lot of times cover price.
Yeah.
But they've been donated by creators who are able in service of helping their fellow creators.
Yep.
So a lot of great organizations and a lot of great people doing awesome things for creators, and reminder to stay tuned into that.
For sure.
But let's get into comic books.
Enough of this news.
Good God Almighty, yeah. I'm sick of new things. Which doesn't really help with all these first
all
issues.
These new comic
They're brand
books.
spanking new. Goodness. I don't even know where to start. Should we try to do in order? No, I don't want to do an order. I was going to say, should we rank the first issues this week?
Oh, good.
But then I don't want to make it
something has to be last.
Something has to be last. And everything was pretty good this week.
It was good.
Not only were we inundated with first issues, but they were all of a certain quality.
Yes.
That your least favorite comic, my least favorite first issue this week on a regular week could have been my favorite first issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, only because you teed me up before we started recording.
Yeah.
I really want to start with Moonknight.
Moonknight. I wrote a little synopsis.
Okay.
Let's see how you think I did.
Okay.
Well, first, let me say, are we on Jed McKay's 4th volume of Moonknight? Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's the 3rd.
He did.
It's at least the 3rd.
Yeah, he did Moonknight, Vengeance of the Moon Knight.
Yep.
This is Marc Spector.
Yep.
I think it's his 4th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think he did 2 volumes of just regular, like, Moon Knight.
Yep. And he did, like, a bunch of little side stories. Yeah, he did Blood Hunt, and he did City of the Dead, right?
No, Pepos wrote City of the Dead.
Oh, Pepos wrote that one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But he has done more for Moon Knight than I think most
like any other creator, right?
I mean, it's at this point to me, it's like him and Doug Mensch, like the co-creator.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So in this issue, Mark is kind of doped up in a Truman Show style fake office.
Yes.
Which is created to keep him busy and like subdue the Moon Knight persona.
Mm-hmm.
But we ultimately find an old friend finds him and aims to remind him of who he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's my elevator. I wrote like kind of concise elevator pitches for each of these because I was like, we have so many to talk about. So that's my quick elevator pitch. And I will say, I said, did you like it? And I withheld my take on it.
Yeah, you sure did. Irritatingly.
Because I think you're coming as somebody who's read a lot of these, and you were like, I wonder how someone would interpret it.
Yeah.
Who is not a typical Moon Knight reader. Does it work as a first issue? And let me tell you, brother, it fucking works.
Yeah, you liked it?
That this situationally, this Truman Show fake office thing really worked for me.
Yeah.
And I thought was such a fun, clever idea, and kind of dropping you in without much context creates this almost like mystery. It reminded me of the beginning of Severance, where you're like, what the hell is going on in this office? And then you get answers over time.
Yeah.
But situationally, it's so fun and poses so many questions that it's something you do want to sit in for a while. And with the reveal at the end of the issue, I'm almost like, oh man, are we going to get out of the office like really soon? Because I want to spend more time in this office. Like the idea is so much fun.
Yeah.
It reminded me so much of the like Greg Smallwood era issues where we were dealing with like different persona types and Mark kind of being played against his wits.
Yeah.
to really understand the situation that was unfolding. And that's something that I've come, in a modern era anyway, to really identify with the character. And I love seeing those sort of like psychological manipulation things brought up again.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like I loved the Midnight Mission stuff and all the street level, like who's this other antithesis of Moon Knight type of character.
Mm-hmm.
All those storylines were really fun and exciting and different for Moon Knight, but this felt like almost a return to form, or like a proper scene setting for what I expect from a modern Moon Knight. And so I had just such a good time with this, even not like having much context for like what's the character's name at the end that shows up? Zodiac. Like I don't have much Zodiac context.
Well, so that's the interesting part to
Yeah.
me, is throughout Jed MacKay's run. So Jed MacKay created Zodiac.
Yes,
but
early on in the run, right?
Early on, and he's
Yeah.
been like a recurring foil to Moon Knight.
Yep.
But he's like Moon Knight's arch nemesis in Jed MacKay's run.
Yeah.
So for him to
come rescue Moon Knight,
it plays to his character, because he's almost like he's Moon Knight's Joker.
Yeah.
Where like Joker would never want anyone else to kill Batman, because he wants to be the guy.
Yeah, right.
And Zodiac's the same way.
Okay.
So either this is like a total fake out, and Zodiac's working with whoever has kidnapped Moon Knight, or we're going to get more like, Zodiac's only breaking him out so that he can be the one to finally break him down.
That you're dulling Mark to a place where the Moon Knight no longer exists. And for his antithesis, it's like, who am I?
That's unacceptable.
Who am I if Moon Knight doesn't exist? I'm the opposite of this character. Like, that's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
But I love all of the, like booth up in the booth sort of scenes where they're watching him on a TV
with Mr. Smith and Mr. Fear.
Yeah. And they've got like the like play acting scenes where they're going in, and very much reminded me of the like maybe Lemire run, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Where he had a psychiatrist who he
New
was
Egypt stuff.
Yes, who he was working with, who ended up to be someone else. Like all that stuff, which is something they played to in the
show
Marvel series. Right. Yeah. So much fun. I can't recommend this issue enough. I think you kind of have to have like, you have to kind of be like somewhat of a Marvel fan and have a little bit of context, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, there's stuff that you would miss. Like, if you didn't know that Zodiac was like, the Joker to Moon Knight's Batman, you're missing something.
It's not as interesting, potentially. Yeah.
Well, you just missed something. I assume that will be brought up. I mean, they make hints at it, but I assume that will be brought up in either the next issue or certainly the issue after that. But yeah, all in all, it's like, I think the other thing you would miss is Jean-Luc Duchamp, who the letter that Mark can't deliver is addressed to, is like Moon Knight's Alfred. He's like his best friend and confidant.
Okay.
And he's been missing for the last like 3 series of Moon Knight comics.
Got it. Okay.
So the interesting thing as like a Moon Knight head is the implication here is Mark knows where Moon Knight or where Jean-Luc is.
Oh, and someone else is trying to find him.
And the whole setup in this fake office is they're trying to get Mark
to give away
or like bring it up to his like consciousness of where his best friend is.
Yeah. Gosh, they do such a clever play of how this guy's so driven to finish a task. And so they give him a task related to this man that he cannot fulfill.
Yeah.
And does that drive him to madness trying to fulfill this task that is potentially unfulfillable, or does it end up creating the scenario wherein he has to give us the answer that we want,
right,
so we can use him to any means that we deem necessary. All cased within like a Truman Show kind of situation.
Yeah.
Was just, I had a blast reading this, and as like it had the right level of complication, I think.
Yeah.
That sometimes when I start explaining a comic book, I'm like, God, the amount of moving parts and like it's so comic booky.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I'd like ever recommend it to somebody who like hasn't read a comic. But I think you could be just like generally familiar with the character and have a good time with this.
Yeah, totally.
And there's a killer E.M. Geist A cover.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Baltimore Rivas
about both
cover that was like beautiful.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And
I like it.
He's a local Kansas City guy too.
Yes.
So like I'm definitely getting that one signed at some point.
Yep.
But if the last splash page doesn't sell you,
yep,
like nothing will.
Yeah.
Where
two Moon Knights kicking ass.
Zodiac and Mark, like shirtless Mark with just
wearing
his
the cowl.
Just his cowl. Like, come on.
Yep. Really good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I'm glad you liked it.
Yep.
I've been having like kind of an existential crisis about my Moon Knight fandom because in the Discord, join the Discord by the way, I realized that like a lot of people in there haven't read a Moon Knight comic.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm doing a disservice to like my favorite character that I haven't sold people on Moon Knight comics enough.
If you read Moon Knight, you're like, oh, it's Marvel's Batman.
I mean,
but if you don't read Moon Knight, then he's really not on your radar. He's not a character that is transcended in popular, given that he even has an MCU TV show.
Yeah.
I think he still hasn't transcended the level of popularity that like people are like, oh, a new Iron Man first issue. So many people bought that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's Iron Man. I'll give it a shot.
Right.
I love Tony Stark. See what they're doing with him now.
Yeah.
I don't think most people have the same relationship with Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Because
Jed McKay is kicking ass at this.
Yeah.
It's been great.
It's crazy good.
That's a set of omnis that I'd like to read someday. Because
Jed McKay's Moon Knight?
Yeah, because I've been in and out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'd be fun to read it as a collected edition. I did the first volume on Marvel Unlimited.
Oh, okay.
Which was really fun to just like power through them all in a row.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Introduction of Soldier and all that stuff is so good.
Yeah. Tigra and the Midnight Mission introduction. Like I loved all that stuff. Was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Breath of fresh air. So many other comics to choose from. You picked Moon Knight. I'll pick Sirens. Love
nice.
Hurts. If you don't know, Sirens is a comic book that comes out. Gotham City Sirens is a book that comes out every once in a while on DC Comics. The Sirens are the kind of women villains.
Femme fatales.
Yeah, your femme fatales all together on a team. And they're normally in pursuit of solving a crime that involves like injustices to women. And that's no different here. We've got Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and then the kind of odd man out is Black Canary, who is the hero trying to come to terms with like, how do I work with this team of villains? We both feel very passionate about the police brushing violence against a certain type of woman, these bottle girls, under the rug. But it's also difficult to look the other way on all the other misbehaviors these criminals get into. So that being said, when someone brought this up in the Discord, the first reply to it was "Va va voom."
I mean,
Babs Tarzan
art truly is transcendent. I mean, it's so good for a book like this.
Yes,
it's so good because it to call it sexy is like doing it a disservice because it's not, the art is not sexualizing the character.
No, and that's the great thing about having a Foley women woman
Yeah.
creative team. Is that you've got Teenie Howard, I believe, is writing it, and
Mhm.
Babs Tarr on art, and it's like fun and sexy and feels like the gals are hanging out, and it's got this very personal dynamic to it that is different from what you get in a lot of comic books. It also exists in a world. A lot of these Sirens books do too. Like this was on the Black Label imprint
Yeah.
where DC may do some of its kind of like edgier stuff.
They can
so
say the F word without it being bleeped out.
yeah, they don't bleep out curse words as much, or it can maybe get away with being like a little bit of like a sexy sexual empowerment.
But it really isn't even that. It's
Yeah.
like it's just the figures are like pinup girl style.
Yeah,
Like
right.
it's not like they're running around like tits out.
Yep. But they're all babes.
I mean, they're totally babes for sure. But like I would say no more so than like any other DC book.
Yeah. But yeah, it does exist in like kind of another universe outside of DC. And one of the things that I like really enjoy about this that I think a lot of the Black Label books are doing are they're leaning into Black Selena Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
That in the mainline DC continuity, Selena Kyle Catwoman is a white woman.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot, if not most, of the adjunct storylines, Catwoman is a black woman.
Is she Asian American in Ultimate Universe? Is that right?
Oh, I don't know.
I think she's
Ultimate Universe
or Ultimate Absolute.
Absolute.
I think she's Asian American.
Is she? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I missed that.
But anyway, to your point, she's like not
right.
white.
Yeah. What's her name? Kit. Was
Eartha
it
Kitt?
Eartha Kitt that played? I mean,
Va-va-voom.
Yeah, right. Like this started with like the Batman TV series, and you love seeing representation in comic books that are so whitewashed.
Yeah.
The Harley Quinn animated series has this version.
That's right. Yeah.
Of Catwoman. So I love seeing that. It's just something like different, but also like I've read so many Catwoman books that have like gone this route or that route that I sometimes almost don't notice which version of Catwoman it is until I'm like halfway through a story and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't like modern Catwoman. This is like exists like somewhere else other than mainline continuity.
Yeah.
I really I don't know if I have to say this. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I loved it.
I mean, the energy of the whole thing is kinetic, and I mean, it feels like parts of it, the dialogue in it, parts of it feel like listening to a really fun podcast where like the girlies are like dishing and hanging out, and then also veers into crime caper and drama and serious tone. But I mean, what a blast to read, and like a visually dynamic, energetic comic book with a lot of different set pieces. Like they're at a concert, they're out at brunch, there's a murder in a crime alley. Like we move a lot around a decent amount and do these like very energetic things a handful of times in it.
Yeah. I loved that they maintained the tension between Black Canary and the other Sirens throughout the issue.
Yep.
Because this very easily could have been, oh, are we ever going to get along? And then there's a dead girl and they're like, okay, now we get along.
Yeah, right.
And just dropped it. Yeah. But it's way more interesting to like keep that tension up. And
there's part of us that we can't show to you, and there's part of you that you have to keep to yourself.
Yeah.
If we're gonna serve the greater good of accomplishing this thing we want to accomplish.
Yeah, and it's not even really the greater good, right? It's a very partitioned sort
you're
of
right.
like,
that's a better way to put it.
It's this slice that like has this overlap.
Yep.
I thought that was really interesting. And I also think it's very, very cool. Again, with an all-female creative team, it's hard to not like focus on this, but there's this concept in like the true crime world of the less dead, where you get people like sex workers, not that bottle girls are sex workers, but particularly sex workers of color are way less investigated when they're murdered than a cute blonde white woman or a little white boy or something, right?
Yes, right. That like, well, these people, there's a partition of people where like these people die.
Yeah,
like that's expected.
You're right. But it was cool that like you get that
the comic addresses
it
as like an institutional problem with like cities at large.
And again, heroes and villains have to put aside their differences to address that thing. And even double triple more impactful when you have an African American Catwoman leading the team. So I loved that. I loved that concept was sort of at the core of what launched this whole book, the whole thing that's going on.
And a lot of times in your kind of like dumb-brained comic books, like sometimes law can equal morality, or like the police department equals morality. And this is one of those comics that has more layers and looks at this situationally with a lot more depth than that. So
because I
find it very refreshing. I do generally think that modern day DC, or at least like Batman comics, are good about being like, we've got a big mafia presence. The police are known to be corrupt. But they're not just corrupt in like the fun mafia way. They're corrupt in like ways that like we deal with in our city. And that like all over the country people are dealing with these things. So
the thing about this book that made all that stuff like really hit home was when it's toward the end of the issue and the sirens are taking off from that second murder scene. Because the cops are showing up, and Dinah says, I'll make sure that the cops like treat her with respect or something to that effect. And it was like, oh, that's so like sad that a superhero has to be present for the cops to treat a dead person with respect, it's like kind of a downer moment, but at the same time it like really drives home all these other points and issues that are brought up. I loved it. I thought it was great because not only was it a lot of fun, but like it had all these like cool things going on.
What a good creative team. Sometimes you just like people mesh right. I'm a like Teenie Howard super fan. I've got so many Teenie Howard comics.
Totally. And I wish Babs Tarr did more interiors.
Yeah, same. Babs ratcheted up the fun. Okay. Your pick.
My pick. I'll do The Thing on the Doorstep.
Yes, I also read this.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is a Top Cow / Image book.
Yes.
And it's by Simon Burks, who is, if you didn't know, kind of like an H.P. Lovecraft super fan.
Oh, really? Okay.
He has done tons of adaptations, both like traditional comic and Kickstarter. I've backed a couple of his Kickstarter adaptations, and they've all been great. And this is an H.P. Lovecraft adaptation, if you didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah. It's based on a short story the same way. The same name, The Thing on the Doorstep. Do
Do you want me to give us my short synopsis?
Yeah. Give your synopsis.
All right, this is a story of two friends through the years, and they're and it follows their relationship as one of them like kind of slowly drifts into the occult.
Yes.
Right. Now, to get into my like take on it,
Yeah.
it's very slow.
Correct.
Right. We never really get to like the turn or the payoff that I think you expect. The issue itself starts with, it's one of those start with the ending kind of comic books where one of the friends shoots the other friend, and then the whole rest of the comic is like 30 years ago, 25 years ago, 23 years ago, 20 years ago, and you see all these points and all like their great friendship proceeding up to the moment, and you say, how do we get there? How does that moment end up happening? And we never quite get the delivery on that at the end of this issue. So there's a hanging thread a bit that I was like, man, I'd hope that was the hook that gave me the kapow at the end, because otherwise I'm seeing like, maybe like kind of a beautiful story of a friendship. But it's a lot of pages of like the niceties and evolution of like their relationship without much conflict.
Yes.
So I'm anticipating the conflict. I partially wondered, would this have read better as a graphic novel where we didn't have to cap it at like we only know the niceties of their relationship.
Yeah, and that's I think ultimately the down part of this is like, I mean, H.P. Lovecraft is all about this elongated tension, right, and terror that ultimately is derived from this, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, I think by the time we get to the end of issue 2, there's gonna be a turning point, but you gotta wade through like 60 pages of this sort of it's not meandering because it's a good story, but it's this sort of anti-build-up.
Yes, when something is adapted, it's really tough because you've got to like pay homage to the source material, and that can go a long way into minutia of different ways of telling a story, including pacing.
Right.
Are you doing a disservice to a story that people are fans of and love, and like part of it is building tension? But
well, I mean, you think about the ultimate outcome of this book, as we know, is the one guy shoots the other guy in the face.
Yeah.
But throughout the issue, to your point, the guy names his kid after his best friend, and they, he knows his wife, and they are friends, and the kid calls the guy, uncle, and so like
has a great relationship with the people who brought him up.
All this stuff, right? All this like nicety stuff that feels like fluff is ultimately like super sad. Like it will be sad because we know where it's gonna be.
I've invested a lot into their relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, to your point,
the part of the art of the form is that you're limited to around 30 pages.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's limiting, and sometimes that's an amazing opportunity you have as a writer to like create a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And a cliffhanger was created, and I think it was one that was very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we want to get into it, but
I mean, there's almost nothing else in the book
to spoil
to talk about.
Yeah, right. But just to say it, I guess anyway, like the nurse that has brought him up over time has gone mad. And
no, it was the librarian.
Oh, the librarian.
Yeah.
Who he used to loan out books from has gone mad.
Yes.
And the books that he's grabbing are books that deal with the occult.
Yes.
And they have slowly caught the eye of the librarian over time. And he somehow is at like an institution or something where she has been kept, and she's got like symbols in blood in her cell, and like, or I guess not cell, but like padded room.
Yeah.
And her descent into madness is going to be, I think, an impetus for him to be like, oh, she's stumbled on something. The thing that I've been looking for over all this time in all these books, she has tuned into it. And what's that aspect of it that I am missing, which becomes a gateway into like fascination and madness with him that furthers his foray into the occult.
Yeah. She found the secret knowledge.
Yes.
Which is a super important thread throughout Lovecraft stories.
Yeah.
Where if you find the secret knowledge, it can grant you, you know, the power, but yeah.
At what cost?
Ultimately you lose your mind, right?
Yeah, right.
I think it was a very effective H.P. Lovecraft adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not into the mythos, this will probably be a miss.
It was a bit dull for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a Lovecraft guy.
Yeah. I was super excited about this because I'm a big Simon Burks fan and a big Lovecraft fan.
Yeah.
Even though he was a horrible racist.
He was a piece of shit. Yeah. I did read Lovecraft Country or County.
Oh, yeah. Great book.
Loved that.
That took all the... twisted it on its head.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you get like these Lovecraftian tales through the context of the African American experience.
Yeah.
Which is...
Killer.
Which is really great.
Yeah. Go figure out what his cat's name was, and you'll know everything about how terrible
what kind of person he was. Yeah. So
H.P. Lovecraft can rest in piss, but he had some cool ideas.
Yeah.
Just not about people.
Just not about people. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'll talk about Jar Jar next.
Okay.
This is about the Galactic Republic's easiest to manipulate senator.
Oh, I thought it was about the actual Senator Jar Jar. You know, from
yes. Not the Galactic Republic,
the actual you know, I think he's
the
from
US Senate.
Mississippi, right?
Yeah, that's right. So Jar Jar has, you know, following the canon of the movies, has basically voted Palpatine into power.
Oh, so this takes place.
This takes place after episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now Jar Jar is being called to a mining planet at the behest of a Jedi to see how Palpatine has abused those powers. That you've given this guy special jurisdiction or certain liberties and power over the Galactic Empire because he convinced everybody it was a time of emergency and turmoil, and he's taking advantage of people in certain planets and hiding that, more or less. So Jar Jar kind of takes it upon himself to be the voice of this planet. But in some respects, this read to me as like Jar Jar believes the last person who talked to him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just kind of like pretends to understand the conversations happening around him, which is very kind of charming in its own Jar Jar kind of way.
Yeah, sure.
That like, I do kind of like that he remains a bit of a bumbling fool who has bumbled his way into power. And ultimately while his lack of clarity is something that has led to like a bad thing, that he's almost this like innocent blank slate, right?
Yeah, sure.
He is this like net neutral thing that just experiences the world as it's presented to him.
Sure.
And is there some artistry or beauty in conveying that? I think that's what I took away as like the thing to like about this, that we can all be manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
We can all make the wrong decision sometimes, and it's easy to make the wrong decision a lot of times.
Yeah.
But when presented with the opportunity to fix or right it, we can like wholeheartedly go into that.
Sure.
The shortcoming of Jar Jar though is that he's just like, yes, I agree. What did that person mean?
Yeah.
But
sure.
yeah, it's fun to see kind of like the comic relief of the prequels be in a place of power and kind of like bumble through it.
Yeah, so he's kind of a whimsical fool, but
Yes.
but his moral compass is pointed north.
Is yeah, pointing in the right direction. Yeah.
That could be very entertaining.
Yeah.
I can see that being very
and
entertaining.
Ahmed Best is writing it, who is did the mocap and voice, I think, of Jar Jar.
Yeah.
And so there's been an interesting reclamation, I think, of Jar Jar over the past several years.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I think, blamed Ahmed Best for like why they didn't like the prequels, and he had a really tough go at like getting work after that, and which is very unfortunate because it's such a big performance, and he's obviously like a talented guy capable of like a big performance. But you understand what certain people didn't get what they wanted out of those movies.
Yeah.
But you talk to younger people about it, and they have Jar Jar has a special place in their hearts, and it kind of reminds you like, oh yeah, this was like kind of a kid's movie, and he was like a fun, silly character in it, and it worked in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that there is a bit of a renaissance in how we regard or think about Jar Jar as a character, and Ahmed Best being a part of that recontextualization of like, what do we like and dislike about that character, and kind of bringing it back to the forefront in an entertaining way has been something kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I like that. Well, so if you didn't know, he also had a guest starring role in The Acolyte, the Star Wars TV show.
Oh no, I didn't know this.
He was one of the Jedi Masters.
Oh, so cool. Okay,
he is still like involved
in the Star Wars world.
Yeah,
they're doing right by him.
Yes. And I also like that they didn't sort of lean into they stayed true to the character.
Yeah.
Because there's been this as part of the Jar Jar Renaissance, this like fan theory that Jar Jar is or was potentially a Sith Lord.
Oh.
Wherein he, he's like the Stephen Miller of the Galactic Empire, where he
playing everybody the whole time.
He plays the fool, but in reality, he
did help put Palpatine in power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to his, his design, right?
Yeah,
right. So, I'm glad that they didn't like lean into that, because that would sort of almost betray
this character's a devil. We love shitting on him.
Yeah, right.
The narrative shouldn't just continue to be like, we're embarrassed of this, so let's continue to kick dirt on it. That's not fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The reclamation of the character should lean into the things that we enjoyed about Jar Jar.
Yeah.
And maybe clean up the things that were over the top.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Is this just a one-off? It's just a one-shot, or
no? It's not a one-shot. Okay. It's set up to have
a couple issues,
subsequent issues.
Okay.
I don't know like how long of a miniseries it's going to be.
Sure.
Or maybe it'll be like
Jar Jar ongoing.
Sometimes sometimes Marvel will do this thing where they do a series of one-shots.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing story, but everyone throws in a new kind of dynamic or character, and they cheat code their way into like making each one a number one issue.
Yeah.
They could be doing that with it, but it's not the story's not intended to end here, like clearly by the end of the issue.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Jar Jar ongoing.
Jar Jar.
50 issues of Jar Jar.
What a run. We'll be sitting here 3 years from now being like, man, one of the great Star Wars runs of all time.
Can you believe what they did with Jar Jar? I can't believe issue 1 is topping $500.
Yeah. I'll keep my copy minty. All right, you're up.
My go?
Yep.
All right, I got 2 left. They're both indies. I'll do Just Brutal and save Bleeding Hearts for last.
I read Just Brutal as well.
Oh, you did? Excellent.
Yeah.
So this is Dennis Hopeless and Brom Revel. I picked this up because Dennis Hopeless was doing a signing at Elite when I showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool guy. Love Dennis Hopeless.
Yep.
He wrote Sea of Stars, which I always rave about whenever he comes up.
Spider-Woman, his run on that, one of my favorite Marvel runs ever, I think.
Super highly.
Loved it.
Yeah, super good. He also did Avengers Arena, if you never read Avengers Arena.
Oh, I remember that.
That book rules.
Yeah.
Rules. Anyway, so Just Brutal is Dennis's elevator pitch that he was like giving to people in the story is this is sort of like the mom and dad in this story are like masters of the universe, like He-Man and She-Ra, but like after the adventures.
Yes.
So
they've tried to settle down and have a normal life.
Yeah.
And have subsequently meandered into some of the trappings of trying to have a normal suburban life.
Yeah.
They've gotten divorced, they've separated, they've got conflict with their families.
Yeah,
and
mom wants to put all the like fantasy stuff behind her.
Yes.
And dad is kind of
can't give it up.
He's kind of living in his past.
Which,
classic.
Talking to a guy surrounded by toys and comic books right here.
What? Hey, don't bring me into your stuff, okay? Therapy's for after. But you also have, you have like the Peter Parker style, like new stepdad.
Love that guy.
Love him. And then you have our main character who is like an aspiring filmmaker, doesn't really know anything about his mom and dad's, previous life.
Yep.
But his older sister is like taking after her dad.
Yes.
And kind of going on these world spanning, beast hunts.
Yep.
With her dad.
Yep.
So you get a lot of like, there's a lot of family dynamic in this book, a lot of sort of setup stuff. And then you get the big set piece at the end when some big monster sort of follows the dad back to the mom's house.
Yes.
And destroys the house, and mom has to begrudgingly like activate her like Sailor Moon powers.
Yeah, right.
And like laser beam the monster's head off.
Turns into like a chainmail fantasy babe
Yeah.
for a couple panels.
Yeah.
And is like, now we're done.
Yeah.
Switches back and he's like, what? Yeah, that's an important thing to note, that the son is the odd one out who doesn't have, his parents have kept from him this secret.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know his mom has superpowers.
Seemingly.
Yeah. He resents his father for leaving him, but doesn't know, like his sister knows, that his father has been in an endless pursuit of ridding the world of these horrible monsters that are spreading chaos.
Yeah.
With the ideal of ultimately protecting his family. He's sacrificing his relationship with his children so that they have a safer world to live in. But in some regard, he's brought his daughter into that. Why not bring your son into that? Is that out of respect for his mother, who didn't want to expose her children to this world and this lifestyle, and so they've segmented as a family into like, our daughter took after you, we resent her from this side of the family, and then I'll keep mama's boy at home and protect him under my roof, and he'll be a sweet little kid.
Yeah.
So the family dynamics in this are like such a treat even before you realize the turn.
Yes.
Like all of the interrelationships that they have and the way that they talk about each other like plays out so well.
Yeah, I'm not big into like sort of like drama stories like this, but I found it very entertaining. It's very endearing the way that the main character narrates the story.
Yes.
Is a real highlight. He does it as like a movie cutaway style.
Yes, he's film obsessed,
Yeah.
which made this character very like fun, endearing, someone like, as you and me, both movie buffs,
Yeah.
I'm sure connected with this character. Just like a fun nerd.
Yeah.
I loved the whole dynamic of like he's forever the martyr in his own life. He's a sad sap. His girlfriend,
he broke up with his girlfriend,
moves to another town, but they're still like zooming every night. But he broke up because he broke up with her because he's like, we can't find love. And she's just like, we're fine.
Yeah.
Like, you did this.
Yeah.
Quit self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got so much information about who this character is and how much he's affected in this issue. Like, that has me so invested, and it never felt tedious to me or like too much information to me. It was such like a fun, breezy read while continuing to like layer on context. And I am so excited to continue this comic.
A lot of times in books like this, I get to like the staples, and it's like I get it, and I skip like 3 or 4 pages to get to like the thing.
Yeah, when's the thing gonna happen?
And I never did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super entertaining book for a lot of reasons.
Yep. Loved it.
Good stuff.
All right. Okay, I'm up. I'll do one you haven't read.
Okay.
The Center Holds. Out on Boom Studios.
Oh, this is the Larry Hama.
This is the Larry Hama book. Larry Hama, a legend in comic books.
Yeah. Written
a ton of Marvel, right? But is best known for his work on G.I. Joe. This comic, The Center Holds, is Hama's kind of untraditional take on a superhero team. But it still has a lot of like traditional Hama trappings in it.
Okay.
Which I found like very fun. There's like bazookas mounted on cars and stuff. And it's just like, this feels like G.I. Joe while also doing these kind of like turn the superhero genre on its head a bit.
Okay.
Or like do something different with the medium. As like a almost like commentary on the superhero as an archetype. I feel like you see that a lot when you have these tenured creators being like, I'm going to create a new superhero team and start net new.
Yeah.
And what are you going to bring to the table that makes a net new superhero team worth reading? How is it different than the baselines that we have? And how is it different from all these other takes that creators have done where they've said, I'm going to do my own spin on, one of the most common ones is, what if the Avengers were actually kind of shitheads? Or what if the Justice League were actually kind of shitheads? This doesn't do that, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
Because it's such well-trodden territory.
Yeah, it's tough because you can't be the Justice League and you also can't be Watchmen.
Yes, totally. Totally. I wanted to mention this is M.D. Bright's last project before he passed.
Oh. Yeah.
So really cool to see his work again in something new. He's got a very specific style that I've always like really enjoyed and feels very comforting, I think. A portion of the proceeds of this book are going to the Hero Initiative in his honor.
That's great.
So something we talked about earlier on. So you'll love that.
Do we know how many issues we're getting with his work?
4, I think.
Okay.
I think they did they did the first trade of this together.
Okay.
Who knows if there's going to be more of it or they're limiting it to this like singular trade.
Sure.
But
okay.
MD Bright first volume. We'll see if we get subsequent volumes.
Sure.
There's bureaucracy in this. There's satire in this. There's romance.
Okay.
Like I said, there's the G.I. Joe kind of explosions. There's political commentary that transcends what you typically would get in a G.I. Joe type comic. It is dense.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I don't know if we talked about this on the Patreon or earlier.
I think it's Patreon.
In the Patreon, we kind of talked about how there are creators. The guy who did Transformers.
Yeah, did Astrobots.
Did Astrobots and had this chance to say, like, what is my take on this that I own? I've been writing Transformers and working on that for so long. My own version of it is going to have this. It's going to have that. It's going to have...
It's a blank slate, right?
You're
not beholden to the action figure.
All these layers of depth that you're not able to do in something that was started as maybe a device to sell toys.
Yeah.
And not that this is that for Larry Hama.
Okay.
Larry Hama is writing a superhero thing. He's not attempting to do like, here's my take on G.I. Joe. Okay. This is like a holistically different thing than G.I. Joe, again, with some of the fun trappings of it tied in there that we know and love. But being something that is like this well-tenured guy with this massive career, doing something creator-owned that has the scope of a Justice League sort of team, he's going to have a lot of ideas, and he's going to want to say something with it.
Sure.
And setting up all these like interrelationships between all these characters. There is a lot to attach yourself to and follow here. And it's going to be a dense read. And it's going to be something for your experienced comic readers who can handle several characters and a lot of things at play going on. I mean, it is like we dropped you into the middle of an X-Men run, and these are characters that have existed for a long time and have all these complex things all going on together, right? Which is, I kind of think, like a good way to do it. That we don't always want an origin story that tiptoes our way into a thing. Like, we know what the concept of a superhero team is.
Yeah.
Like, in some regard, I want to just be like thrown in and to pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
So I do
We don't need to see Uncle Ben being killed. We don't need to see the Waynes die.
Yeah, right. I don't need to know how every character earned their moral compass or lack thereof. But we can be shown that throughout the course of this story progressing.
Sure.
But fair warning for people who don't read a lot of comic books on a regular basis. This is one that I think requires like a little bit of X-Men brain.
Yeah.
That like you're willing to like reread some stuff and clock all of the like minutia nuance between characters to get the most out of what this book is like ultimately trying to say.
Sure.
But I do think at the end of the day, there is a good amount of satire here.
Okay.
It's not, there are parts of it that are positioned as like silly and funny. There's like there's a character called Mr. Right, and he's like a right-wing loon with an elephant mask.
That's really funny.
Yeah, and like that's funny and slapsticky and kind of silly. But a lot of the rest of it to me is positioned as kind of seriously toned and takes a more like traditional satirical approach to like what's maybe wrong with the superhero dynamic and what's wrong with culture at large and all these other things.
Yeah.
So
okay.
But like I said, dense,
Yeah.
maybe hard to like fully wrap your head around or buy into it for some.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Your mileage is going to vary based on your comic book acumen.
Yes.
Sure.
Completely. And I think again too, it's one of those things where like if you're a G.I. Joe head or an MD Bright fan,
Yeah.
it's just worth buying just for the coziness of like
Sure.
sitting in the style of how those guys work together and
Yeah.
seeing the sort of stuff that they get into with this new creative world to play in.
Sure.
So
Okay.
I will probably continue to pick it up.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Last one
One
I
more
read.
for you. I did not read this one.
Last one I read was Bleeding Hearts. And first things first, Vertigo is back, baby.
Hey.
This is a total Vertigo book.
Yeah.
This is Denise Camp and Stippen Morian with our boy Matt Hollingsworth on colors.
Okay, yeah.
So the elevator pitch of this is the Walking Dead has happened and zombies control most of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
But our main character is a zombie, and his heart has started beating.
Oh.
And we don't know why. He
Back to
doesn't.
life.
He doesn't know why.
Okay.
And he is seemingly the only zombie that is experiencing this.
Yeah.
And what makes this feel like such a Vertigo book to me?
Very emo. It already sounds very Vertigo.
Oh, it's very in its feels, but what makes it feel like just like nuts and bolts Vertigo is the characters, like zombies have their own society that is like very loose and fluid. So like they don't have like families or towns, but they have like mobs that form together that just sort of roam across the country.
Yeah.
And our main characters are part of this big mob, but that even their names, like our main character's name is Poke, but that's just short for Mouse pokes a golf ball through the hole in his head. And his best friend's name is Mush, but that's short for like mushrooms grow in patches on his shoulders or something, right? So they all have these like
very literal names that are like, that's the thing we remember this guy
exactly
from. Yeah.
You have a unique defining feature, and that's what we call you. So that feels very like very Vertigo.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at the cover of it,
yeah,
it's kind of punk rock in a way that feels very Vertigo. I feel like you could pick this cover up, put it on a comic 20 years ago, and I'd be like, yeah, I believe you 100% that this was a Vertigo book I missed from like the early aughts.
Biggest change is that it's not on newsprint.
Yeah, right. Yes.
But so we get this story about Poke and Mush sort of roaming around together, and Poke is sort of ruminating in his own head about why is my heart beating again? It's not supposed to do that. But also like zombies have essentially wiped out humanity. They have essentially killed themselves because they keep eating people. So he starts feeling these sort of regretful feelings, even though he knows it's just his nature, right?
Yeah.
He's sort of contending with, I do this because it is what zombies do, and I have to do this to continue to be a zombie, and it is ending the world.
Yeah, right.
So,
I mean, again, I love the messaging here about taking such a fun way to speak to how a lot of us are feeling with the culture right now, that we are going through the motions and trying to survive without being emotionally impacted by all the terrible things going on around us, but ultimately we need to confront those things. Otherwise, it's just going to get worse and worse.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, this seems like a beautiful way to tell this story and deal with something that we're all kind of asking, like, what should we do in this situation? Or like, every day we wake up new in the world and say, like, it's a new world today, and how do I deal with the world around me today? And
I mean, that's the interesting part of the book, is that ultimately, as is the case in most scenarios, Poke knows what the right answer is.
Yeah, right.
The right answer is to not kill and eat people.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly difficult. It's not an easy answer.
Yeah.
Because they've got to eat, it's zombies' nature to eat people.
Yep.
But to your point, he wakes up every day and he's like, well, this isn't right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think that's what the book is going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, at the end of the book, he stumbles across, a kid and his sister or something, right?
Some humans.
And that's where the book ends.
Yeah.
But
and what does he do?
What does he do, right? That's what we don't...
Does he stop shopping at Target? Or does he just go because it's convenient another day?
That's right. That's exactly what this book is about.
I love it. That's really clever.
Yeah, it's a fun book.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be like an ongoing thing. I could see it going both ways. I mean, you had these Vertigo books like like Why the Last Man and Preacher and stuff that went 50, 60, 70 issues. And I could see this maybe having about half that staying power.
Yeah.
I could see it going for 30 issues or something.
Cool.
Depending on where Denise takes the story. But this, I mean, again, really felt like a Vertigo book to me, a real return to form for them.
And I would love, with the return of Vertigo, I would love to see the return of an indie ongoing that does get several issues.
Yeah.
Like, so rare anymore for independents to go past 12 books.
Yes.
If even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when they do, they break them into like several volumes. Like, what Monstrous is like the oldest book I bought that has reached like an issue 50, I think, that's been an independent.
Other than Saga.
Yeah, Saga predates Monstrous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on that one? We moving on?
No, it's incredibly good. If you can find a copy, go buy it.
Yeah. I've got two more that I'll try to be quick about.
Okay.
Both Marvels, both superheroes.
Yes.
Wade Wilson Deadpool.
Oh, yes.
Written by one of our favorite writers, Ben Percy.
Doing the Lord's work.
That's right. In this issue, Wade is throwing himself into violent scenarios to distract himself from the loss of his daughter. I do appreciate this. I always love when a new series acknowledges the old series.
Yeah.
Way too much. We had this pattern for a while in Marvel where it was like, let's ignore the last volume and do our own damn thing.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who's been reading the comic forever, it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to just like throw away what I know about something or all the damage that they've cooked up. Like, we need to like deal with it. Otherwise it seems like even if it is a fun, silly comic, it does do a disservice to throw that all away. Especially
because Ellie was like already kind of thrown away.
Yeah.
And then brought back.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I love that. So that's what's going on, right?
Okay.
He gets like do you remember the show Early Edition?
No.
Early Edition was a show wherein someone would get delivered a newspaper of tomorrow's news.
Okay.
And with that, they would look through the like deaths or accidents. And then they could say, I'm going to go out into the world and try to prevent these 3 terrible things from happening.
Okay.
Whether it's saving someone's life or keeping somebody from falling victim to something. which is like the concept of some corny 90s TV show that I remember.
And nobody used that to win the lottery. But go ahead.
Yeah, right. You think you'd just be like winning the lottery like every day. So Deadpool in this gets an early edition type letter that changes to say something that's about to happen in the future.
Okay.
And this gives him a mission, a distraction to like keep him doing good.
Yeah.
And having forward momentum to stay busy. Like a lot of the comic builds with him like taking his like bounty, right? He's a merc for hire.
Yeah.
But he doesn't care about the money, right? He's just like, aren't you gonna shoot me and try to take the money back? Like where like it can't end like this. You're not just gonna like leave me the briefcase of money and go, are you? And like we said, there's there is one of the ongoing things that makes Deadpool work is like an undercurrent of sadness.
Yeah.
That he's like constantly throwing himself against a wall, regenerating, but there is something to like the pointlessness of this life that our clowns are kind of sad at their core.
Yeah, it's like a goofy Dracula.
Yeah. So I think if you are a Deadpool super fan, this does a lot of the like mile a minute jokes, extremely silly scenarios. We kind of suspected that from a Ben Percy Deadpool, we would be getting something that was maybe a little more gritty or seriously toned.
I was expecting something closer to his original appearance.
Yeah. And I think that in having this discussion that we've had thus far, it kind of sounds like it might be more serious.
Yeah.
But I want to emphasize that at least thus far, it is not. Again, early edition type letter, a piece of paper that tells him who to save next, magically, and set pieces that have him like getting birthed out of a cow to stop a meth ring wherein they're like trafficking drugs inside like cattle's anuses. So I mean there's like these like over the top crude scenarios and like puns that are a mile a minute, while also again having that kind of like undercurrent of like hiding our feelings with like violence and jokes. So if you are a classic Deadpool fan, I think you've got another Deadpool run here that's going to do the Deadpool thing that you like.
Sure.
All right.
Deadpool.
And that's Wade Wilson Deadpool. My other comic I read was Cyclops.
Oh, yeah.
Our guy has his own solo title again.
First time in like 10 years.
Hasn't happened as much as you think it would for the leader of the X-Men.
Yeah.
But he is kind of milquetoast.
Very much so. And even then, wasn't his last solo series that one that where he like went to space? Wasn't that like young Cyclops? It wasn't even like technically like Cyclops.
Maybe it was. It was during that era where the students came to the
future. They time traveled, right?
Came to the time travel and like young Cyclops joined the champions.
Yeah. Because I think he went to space with his dad and like joined the Starjammers.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
sorry.
Right. I get more X-Men shit.
Right.
This book runs concurrent to the X-Men title, but sets Scott on a solo adventure. So if you're reading current line X-Men, this is just like an adjunct thing to like see where he's at during
while everyone's taking a nap.
Other X-Men stuff. He's kind of like handling some emotional business between missions, and his Quinjet that he's flying in just coincidentally gets shot down.
Coincidentally
by Donald Pierce's New Reavers.
Oh.
While passing over a mining operation that they have. If you don't know who Donald Pierce is, he is a member of the Hellfire Club. I think he was the White King, maybe,
Yeah.
at one point. That sounds right to me. And then the Reavers are cyborgs that Pierce creates, kind of out of like desperate people he finds on the street, like drug addicts, and then he turns them into these like uh technologically empowered
Yeah.
beings,
Yeah.
and like manipulates them to like also hate mutants and go after.
Yeah, they're kind of like Deathlocks, right?
Yeah, they're kind of like Deathlocks. And I'll stop with the lore there because again, X-Men shit. So during that crash that I mentioned previously, Cyclops' visor breaks.
Oh no!
And so he is basically in the wilderness with the Reavers trying to track him down, and he's got no way to control his optic blasts.
Yeah.
In addition to that, there is a mutant prisoner who has escaped from the Reavers who has found like a passed out Cyclops.
Okay.
And so I think this woman is going to have to be like his eyes.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to figure out how to work together while he's essentially blinded.
Yeah.
And he's still got his superpower, but it's uncontrolled, more or less.
If he opens his eyes to see where he's going,
he obliterates I can't remember what the like, when you read the Marvel trading cards and it's like,
oh yeah, what's his power level?
So, yeah, Cyclops' optic blast is equivalent to X.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is, but it's like a lot.
Right.
It is like crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a lot going on with him because it's a solo book. We're addressing some like family stuff with Havoc and their relationship, and there's some of these other things happening in the background with like Cyclops lore and history and the orphanage that they grew up in, just to make it more personal to him as a character.
Sure.
And helps you like empathize with like this grander history of Cyclops before we put him in a situation that takes advantage of the one thing that makes him him.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting dynamic, but I think very optional.
Okay, sure.
And I think be an X-Men fan and be reading X-Men.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think just like any other X-Men thing, you're going to be a little lost.
Yeah.
Marvel is great at making X-Men shit for X-Men people. And they are not very good at creating onboarding opportunities. And that suits me just fine because I'm an X-Men freak. And I would hate to relitigate all of these, like, who the X-Men are constantly.
Oh my God.
And so every time one of these things comes out, I have a fucking blast with it.
Yeah.
But I always give that warning when we talk about these things, like, hard to find an onboarding point for modern X-Men stuff.
Totally.
And that's that.
I mean, I like the elevator pitch of Cyclops.
Yeah.
Being with his broken visor in the woods. That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. That as an elevator pitch is a fun concept.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yep. All right. We did it. A first issue extravaganza in a hell of a week, and Vargas and I did our best to guide you through these muddy, murky waters of the comic book industry. And we'll be back next week to do the whole damn thing again with a new set of first issues.
Let us know what you bought in the Discord.
Yeah.
Let us know if you found any beloved new first issues.
Yep. And if we missed any that you read.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we covered quite a few. We didn't get to Thundercats Valentine's Day special, regrettably.
True.
I mean, that could have been the book of the week.
True.
But now you'll never know. One of the great mysteries of our time for First Issue Club listeners.
Oh, well.
What would they have thought?
Go buy the blind bag.
There you go. I'm sure it has 10.
Sure it exists.
Bye. First Issue Club podcast is brought to you by Boulevard Brewing Company, the people responsible for our favorite drinks, the Space Camper Cosmic IPA family of beers. Our show is edited and produced by our hosts Mike DeStacy, Greg Lichtig, and Andy Vargas. You can find us on social media at First Issue Club, And you can join the supporters who keep our humble podcast going on our Patreon at patreon.com/firstissueclub.